2012. This chat is going to be focused on outdoor opportunities and the Dartmouth Outing Club, or the DOC. This is an opportunity for you to ask us your questions, so just post your question in the chat and we'll try to answer that as best we can. To get things started, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Amanda Wheelock. I'm a class 2013, so I'm a junior. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I major in geography modified with environmental studies, and on campus I work for the Hopkins Center for the Arts, and I play on the club Ultimate Frisbee team.
Cool. Hi, I'm Farzine. I am a 12 from Rockville, Maryland, and I majored in chemistry, and I work at the Tucker Foundation in the Office of Religious and Spiritual Life, and I'm a member of Cabin and Trail.
Hi, I'm Gerben Sherpier. I'm a 14 or a sophomore here. I'm majoring in earth science and modified with economics, and I am currently elected the president of the Dartmouth Outing Club, and I'm also involved in Outdoor Leadership Experience, which is a mentoring program for middle school and high school students.
Great. So first, maybe do you guys want to talk about your involvement with the DOC, kind of how you got started? I don't know if you want to start, Gerben?
Sure. My first involvement, like most Dartmouth students, not all, was in the Dartmouth First Year Trips program, which was a really great introduction to Dartmouth. It's where I met some of my first friends. And that was like a 5-day wilderness program, the first thing I did here. And that's sort of where I learned about the DOC. And from there I got involved in Cabin and Trail, and I sort of dabbled in some of the other activities like rock climbing and kayaking. And since then I've kind of been spending as much time as possible in outdoors.
Nice. I actually didn't go on a first year trip when I was a freshman. Should I answer this question too?
Yeah.
Okay. And pretty randomly got involved in the DOC around like my sophomore year. I fell deeply in love with organic chemistry, and then through a series of events decided that I would have an organic farm called the Orgo Farm my sophomore spring. And then pretty randomly got introduced to the outing to first year trips through Dan Sussman, the trips director in 2010, who was in Common Ground saying the only thing you need to do to be a good trip leader is want to welcome freshmen. And that is something that I really enjoyed doing. I've been an undergraduate advisor here, doing a lot of community building stuff, and so that made a lot of sense to me. And so the first time I hiked was when I led a freshman trip, and I really like knowing what is happening on the ground underneath my feet. And so that is why I spend time outdoors.
Cool. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat. And I think we have our first question here. So are first year trips required for incoming freshmen?
Go ahead, Farzine.
Nope. Absolutely not. They're a really great program for, it's a program that is pretty wide and diverse and has roughly 300 to 400 upperclassmen involved in it. So it's over the course of 10 days, and so it's not a singular experience at all, and it's an option. I didn't go on a first year trip, and I'm pretty happy that I don't regret that I didn't go on a first year trip at that point in my life. And I think that you and anyone should just go on trips if they want to go on trips.
That being said, if you're uncomfortable outdoors, that's definitely not a reason to not go on first year trips, because there are a lot of people who, like, most outdoorsy thing they've ever done is walking on a sidewalk, and all of a sudden they come on first year trips and they're like perfect trips for them, like beginner hiking and stuff like that, where you really don't need to know that much about camping or anything like that. And we have people here who can teach you all about like everything you need to know about going outside. So don't like skip the first year trips program just because you've never been outside before, because it's a really fun experience, and I think that you would really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the thing that I find like most welcoming about the outing club, because there's so many ways to be outside, and like it's not just, there's just like a million ways to be outside. You can like frolic, you can farm, you can pick vegetables, you can walk for miles and miles, you can climb up absurdly perpendicular to the earth things. And the cool thing about trips is that it's just like a large part of the upperclassmen body, and many freshmen come together and sort of together figure out how to be in the woods for a couple days.
Yeah.
Cool. And so on trips, there's 2 upperclassmen leaders, 1 guy and 1 girl, and then usually 6 to 10 first years on that trip as well. So then next question related to those millions of different things you can do outdoors with the DOC. Or 2 questions, I guess. What is your favorite first year trip? And then also what's your favorite, maybe outside of trips, favorite DOC activity? So, Farzina, start.
What's your favorite first year trip in general? You mean of the trip types?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've been on 2. One was a hiking trip up Smarts and Cube.
You've led to, right?
Yes, I've led 2. Exactly.
You don't go on
I have been
multiple.
on no first year trips as a first year. And I led an organic farming trip at the Dartmouth Organic Farm. I really loved both of them. I think I especially loved the farm because there were lots of delicious food. Yeah.
And my freshman year, I went on hiking 4, which is harder hiking, and that was up Franconia Ridge up in northern New Hampshire, and it was really beautiful, and we had some terrible weather, and I still enjoyed the whole thing. People there are really excited to be outside with you, and definitely a good bonding experience. And I guess my favorite part about the DOC, which was the other question, would be I think it's probably either hanging out in Robinson Hall, which is next door. It's right on the green, and it's like a beautiful building that we're lucky to have for the DOC. And basically, it's kind of where a lot of kids hang out during the day, either working or doing outdoorsy or planning outdoorsy trips and stuff like that. And then the other place that I really like to be is Moosilauke Ravine Lodge, which is a giant wooden or log structure, one of the largest in New England. And they have like a crew there every year that's of Dartmouth students who cook dinner and just entertain you while you're there, and it's a really fun place to be with your friends.
Yeah, I think my favorite DOC experience that I've had was this summer. A couple of friends and I did the 50, which is this hike that the DOC puts on every summer and fall, and you hike from Hanover 53.6 miles, I think, to the Moosilauke Ravine Lodge that Gerben was just talking about. And you don't really stop to sleep or anything. You stop to eat and then keep going. So it takes usually people about 25 to 30 hours of walking, which sounds crazy, and I did not think I was ever going to do it when I first got here. I thought everyone was nuts. But it was actually a really rewarding experience and definitely one of the really cool events that the DOC puts on. But I think it's great because there's always things going on. There's beginner trips every week and all the different sub-clubs from kayaking to climbing, and lots of great opportunities there. So.
Yeah, any given day of the week, there will be trips going out, and there's a huge skill range from very beginner. In fact, we run some trips that don't even involve outdoor things. Like there's something called Diner Tour every Wednesday, where kids wake up to go visit one of the cool New England diners that's in the area. But then there's also trips that climbing Katahdin in the winter. So there's like a huge range of different difficulty levels, and there's definitely no expectation that you are outdoorsy necessarily or have an outdoorsy background or something like that to be involved in the club.
Cool. So we have another question, a little quick one here. Do the students who work at the organic farm get to take the veggies, or do they go to the cafeteria?
Both. As you're working, kind of what happens that you eat what you harvest often. And currently a portion of the produce from the organic farm grown in the summer goes to Collis Cafe. Yeah.
And the cool thing is that you don't actually have to work at the farm necessarily. Like you can go to the farm whenever you want to volunteer just for an afternoon. And volunteering can constitute eating cherry tomatoes and then swimming in the river, which is right next to the farm. So it doesn't really...
Which the farm really likes that you do.
Yeah. So there's definitely you can be as affiliated with the farm as you want, which is great because some kids are really into farming and other kids are really into eating, like myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
What resources does the DOC offer? This is another question that we have right here. So
Yeah. I guess that's sort of a broad question because there's lots of resources. The DOC is a student-run club, but we do have a number of staff members who work in outdoor programs, and we work very closely with them. So I guess the resources in terms of equipment and staffing, we have lots of people who can train you in all different sorts of leadership and outdoor certifications, but then we also have outdoor gear, an entire department, and then a staff that will get you set up with any kind of gear that you need for your trips. And then in terms of funding, every term we give out money to kids who plan their own trips. And so if you want to do something outside, you give us a proposal, we'll review it, and as long as it's safe, we'll let you go, and we have money for that. So it's lots of resources, I guess, just encouraging people to get outside as much as possible.
Does that funding have to be for trips that are like around Dartmouth or during the term?
No, definitely not. We send trips to Peru, Patagonia, Australia. A trip just went to, we just got one back from Wyoming. So like they can go anywhere in the world. It doesn't really matter what you want to do. It can be skiing, it can be hiking, it can be like literally anything that you want, as long as it's outside and as long as it's safe. Or at least that you've considered like the safety things, like we will give you money for it.
Awesome.
I think I wanted to add something.
Yeah.
This is also my answer to one of my favorite experiences in the outing club has been becoming a leader in Cabin and Trail.
Yeah.
Cabin and Trail is one of the DOC sub-clubs that does a lot of hiking trips. And I just really love the process of engaging with that aspect of the community where people who have knowledge share it with people who have other pieces of knowledge, and there's just like lots of knowledge sharing and lots of experience gaining. And I just really loved my own growth with being very uncomfortable with the woods and then becoming very comfortable. Like today, I went on a walk around Velvet Rocks and Balch Hill, which you can just get to right from campus. I like had to
both on the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah, they're both on the Appalachian Trail.
Which goes right through
Balch Hill
campus.
Yeah. And it was just like awesome to be like, I can just go in the woods whenever I want and decide how I want to do that in my own way.
I guess we should also mention that the DOC is made up of 12 different sub-clubs, so we kind of all work together as one club, but there are 12 different sub-clubs. See if we can name all of them. Mountain biking, Ledyard Canoe Club, the Dartmouth Mountaineering Club, which is also rock climbing, Cabin and Trail, Cycling Club, Ski Team, Organic Farming, Ski Patrol, Women in the Wilderness,
Winter Sports
Club,
Environmental Studies,
and
did we say the DMC?
Yeah,
I think we did. Big Green Bus.
Big Green
That's
Bus.
another good one.
Yeah.
Big Green Bus is a really cool program where they take a giant like Greyhound bus and they renovate it to make it veggie powered, and then they drive it all around the country for the summer. And it's a group of like 12 kids, and they kind of do sustainability education all around the country. And really, really cool group. And they're kind of working with the Dartmouth Outing Club and also the sustainability office. So that's definitely a very active club on campus.
Cool. So we have another question here. Is the DOC open to students whenever they want, or is it more like one set group of members who participate a lot, kind of separate from other people?
Again, a huge range, I think, there. We have kids who participate in like 1 or 2 trips a year, some kids who go once a term, some kids who go once a week, and then there's a few people who are on a trip almost like 2 or 3 times a week. So really, it's like as available as you can go on as many trips as you have time for that week or that term. Some weeks I have just way too much work and I spend no time on DOC trips, and then other weeks, like last week was spring break and I got to go to the Grand Canyon and spent the whole week with Dartmouth Outing Club kids hiking, and that was really beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I think one group that we did forget to mention is Bait and Bullet.
Oh, you're right.
So there we just got in. Is there a hunting group question?
Yes.
They do fishing and hunting as well, right?
And there's a shooting range just up the river, about 2 miles. And I guess that goes with the resources question. The DOC has 11 cabins. There's a Dartmouth Skiway, and Oak Hill is our cross-country ski center. We have the rental shop and the Moose Lock Ravine Lodge. So tons of different facilities.
Yeah. So quick wrap up. We only have a couple minutes left, but I think a couple people want to know, why did you pick Dartmouth? So who wants to start?
I'll go first. I chose Dartmouth for a few reasons, and I think one of them was the size. This number of students here is great because I feel like even in my sophomore year, I'm still meeting a lot of new people in my class. At the same time, I can walk down the street and I can see people who I know every day, and that's kind of like a great balance for me. And then the other main reason would be the outdoor opportunities here. We're located on the Appalachian Trail. The Connecticut River is down the hill from us, and the White Mountains are just in our backyard. So the outdoor opportunities that are here is definitely one of the reasons that I chose Dartmouth.
Yeah, I chose Dartmouth. I didn't come here for Dimensions, but I was here on the weekend of April 7th in 2008. And just for that day, for 8 hours. And it was the end of a longer road trip, and basically I just like walked across the green and immediately noticed that people responded well to my smiling at them. And someone in the library like was not fazed by me saying hello to them, even though I didn't know them. And that just like cued into my subconscious that this is a place that has friendly people, and whatever's in the environment allows, and the structure of Dartmouth allows people to kind of be comfortable with themselves and their own happiness and their own sadness. And that has turned out to be very true for me. And that's like totally taken different shapes and different activities and different passions while I've been here, but it's been great.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll be back in 10 minutes with our second to last chat focused on the arts at Dartmouth. Congratulations on being accepted. We're all super excited for you. We hope to see you on April 19th for the start of our visit weekend called Dimensions of Dartmouth. If you can't make it, you can also visit any other time during the month of April. You can contact the admissions office and we can get you set up with a tour, maybe an overnight, all of that good stuff. Otherwise, we hope to see you on campus in the fall. Thanks for tuning in.